Welcome to English Wordcraft. Here's today's topic. We'll explore it through a story, break it down, and finish with a quiz. Let's start with the story.
Barnaby had just started working for a large corporate company. On his first morning, he arrived at the company's headquarters 15 minutes early and felt very proud of himself. "Look at me," he told Maya. "I'm already on schedule." Maya smiled. "Good. Now try to stay that way." Barnaby's first assignment was simple: help a new client prepare a presentation. He had several small tasks to finish before the deadline. "Easy," Barnaby said confidently. Then he discovered that he didn't have access to the company's presentation system. He went to the IT department. "I need access to this system." The IT employee handed him a form. "Fill this out." Barnaby filled it out. "Now take it to your manager." He took it to his manager. "Now it needs approval from the branch director." Barnaby stared at the form. "This is a lot of paperwork." Maya nodded. "Welcome to bureaucracy." Meanwhile, Leo appeared with a huge smile. "Don't worry, I know the director. He'll approve anything I ask." Barnaby looked impressed. Leo walked into the director's office. "Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Fantastic idea, sir." He came back 5 minutes later. Maya whispered, "Leo is a complete yes man." Eventually, Barnaby got access and started working. He and Maya had to work closely to finish the presentation while Leo helped behind the scenes. At first, the team kept arguing about small things, but after a few hours, they started understanding each other. "We actually have good team chemistry," Barnaby said. "Surprisingly," Maya replied. By Friday afternoon, they had finished everything before the deadline. Barnaby looked at his computer. "It works!" Maya laughed. "Good, now stick to your schedule next week." Barnaby nodded. "I will, and I'm going to ask for a flexible schedule too." "Why?" "So I can spend more time outside the office." Maya smiled. "Better quality of life?" "Exactly." Leo suddenly appeared. "Great idea. Absolutely. Best idea ever." Barnaby looked at Maya. "Is he ever going to disagree with anyone?" Maya shook her head. "Probably not." Barnaby closed his laptop. "Well, everything is finished. Let's call it a day."
Now let's learn the meanings of the words and phrases from the story.
Kicking things off, let's look at the word access. In the corporate world, this means the ability or permission to enter, use, or reach something. Let's see it in action. Employees need access to the company's online system. "I don't have access to that file." Students can access the course materials online. Here's a quick tip if you want to sound just like a native speaker. Pay close attention to common verb pairings. You'll constantly hear things like have access to, get access to, or give someone access to.
Moving right along to something you'll encounter pretty much every day: assignment. An assignment is a piece of work that someone is asked or required to do. Check out these examples. "My manager gave me an important assignment." "I have to finish this assignment by Friday." "My English teacher gave us a writing assignment." Now, keep in mind, whether you're studying at university or grinding in the office, this word is an absolute staple of everyday English.
Ever wonder how massive companies organize themselves geographically? Well, that brings us to branch. A branch is a local office or part of a larger company or organization. For instance, she works at the Tokyo branch. The company opened a new branch last year. Our local bank branch closes at 5 p.m. To help you remember this one, just think of a company like a giant tree. The headquarters is the main trunk, right? And the branches, they reach out into different, smaller offices.
Bureaucracy. You might actually groan when you hear this one. Bureaucracy is a complicated system of rules and official procedures. Let's look at how it's used. Bureaucracy can make simple tasks take a long time. We had to deal with a lot of bureaucracy before opening the business. Too much bureaucracy can slow down a company. As you can probably guess, this word usually carries a pretty negative feeling, mostly because it suggests all that unnecessary paperwork that just slows you down.
So who are we doing all this work for anyway? Well, often it's a client. A client is a person or company that receives a professional service. Let's read through the examples together. I'm meeting a client this afternoon. The company has clients from around the world. We need to prepare a presentation for our new client. And here is an absolutely crucial tip for the workplace. You've got to know the difference between a client and a customer. A client receives an ongoing professional service, whereas a customer usually just buys a product.
Speaking of big business, let's talk about the word corporate. Corporate means related to a large company or business. For example, she works in the corporate world. He has a corporate job in finance. Many corporate offices have strict rules. When you're using this word out in the wild, look out for powerful combinations like corporate culture, corporate environment, or the corporate world. You know, you usually won't be working completely alone in that corporate office. You'll have a coworker. Simply put, a coworker is someone who works with you. Listen to these examples. My coworker helped me finish the report. I usually have lunch with my coworkers. One of my coworkers recommended this English course. Now, coworker and colleague are very, very similar, but coworker is especially popular and sounds super casual in everyday American English.
The clock is always ticking in business, isn't it? Which brings us to deadline. A deadline is the latest time or date by which something must be completed. Let's look at the examples. The deadline is Friday. We need to finish this before the deadline. I always try to finish assignments before the deadline. If you want to sound highly fluent, memorize these useful combinations. You can meet a deadline, or if things go wrong, you might miss a deadline.
So where do the really big decisions get made? Usually at headquarters. Headquarters is the main office or central location of a company or organization. Here they are in context. The company's headquarters is in Tokyo. She was transferred to the company's headquarters. The decision was made at the company's headquarters. I want to point out a really important grammatical tip here, guys. Even though it ends in an S, headquarters can actually be treated as a singular noun, like saying the company's headquarters is in London.
Your workday is usually broken down into smaller tasks. Tasks are individual pieces of work that need to be completed. Check out these examples. I have several tasks to finish today. Let's divide the tasks between us. My daily tasks include answering emails and preparing reports. The key takeaway here is that task is much more specific than the general word work. You might have a ton of work to do, but that work consists of 5 specific tasks.
Every office has different personalities, but you've got to watch out for the yes man. A yes man is someone who always agrees with a powerful person, even when they don't really agree. Let's read the examples. The manager doesn't want yes men around him. He's known as a yes man because he never disagrees with the boss. A good leader should listen to different opinions, not just yes men. As you might expect, this term is almost always negative. It implies someone is just desperately seeking approval rather than offering their honest ideas.
Okay, let's shift gears from single words to some incredibly useful phrases. Starting with behind the scenes. This means happening privately or secretly, away from public attention. For instance, a lot of work happens behind the scenes. She works behind the scenes to organize the event. Behind the scenes, the team was preparing a new project. Just remember, it doesn't always mean something is a big dark secret. It often just means the general public doesn't physically see the hard work happening.
Moving on to my personal favorite phrase of the day, call it a day. You use this to mean stop working because you've done enough for today. Let's practice with these examples. We've finished everything. Let's call it a day. It's getting late, so I'm going to call it a day. After studying for 3 hours, I decided to call it a day. This idiom is incredibly natural in everyday English. Seriously, you'll hear it constantly as 5 o'clock rolls around.
In the modern working world, a flexible schedule is highly sought after. This is a work schedule that allows you to choose or change your working hours. Here are the examples. I prefer a job with a flexible schedule. A flexible schedule makes it easier to balance work and family. Working with a flexible schedule has improved my quality of life. This phrase is absolutely your go-to vocabulary when you are discussing work-life balance in today's corporate world. Sometimes things are just simple, and you can just say, "It works." This means it is effective or successful. It produces the desired result. Listen to how natural this sounds. This method is simple, but it works. I tried a new study technique, and it works. The new system seems complicated, but it works. The tip for this one is super straightforward. Don't overcomplicate things. This simple phrase is extremely common and perfectly effective. To make sure you meet those deadlines we talked about earlier, you want to be on schedule. That means happening or progressing at the planned time. Let's read the examples. The project is on schedule. The train arrived on schedule. We're still on schedule to finish the project this week. A really great way to build your vocabulary is to contrast this. On schedule means you are exactly on time. Ahead of schedule means you're early, and behind schedule means you're running a bit late.
Ultimately, a job shouldn't ruin your quality of life. This phrase means how good and comfortable someone's everyday life is. For example, a shorter commute can improve your quality of life. Working fewer hours may improve people's quality of life. Many people move to smaller cities for a better quality of life. Hey, if you are preparing for exams like the IELTS, listen up. This is a fantastic, high-level phrase for speaking part 3, especially when you're discussing society, health, or cities.
Now, to maintain that quality of life, you often need to stick to your schedule or plan. This means to continue following the schedule or plan you have made. Here it is in action. If you want to improve your English, stick to your study schedule. We need to stick to the plan if we want to finish on time. It's difficult at first, but try to stick to your schedule. Notice the grammatical structure here. It's stick to followed by a noun. Stick to the plan, stick to the rules, stick to your goals.
Projects just flow so much better when there is good team chemistry. This describes the way members of a team communicate, cooperate, and work well together. Let's look at the examples. Good team chemistry is important for a successful project. The players have excellent team chemistry. Our team has better chemistry when everyone communicates openly. The easiest way to remember this one, just think of it as the invisible, positive relationship between you and your colleagues.
And wrapping up our vocabulary list today, to build that team chemistry, you often have to work closely. This means to work together carefully and frequently. Check out our final examples. We work closely with our clients. The marketing and sales teams work closely together. I work closely with my coworkers on large projects. Pay close attention to the structure here. It is almost always work closely with, followed by the person or the specific team.
Now let's test your knowledge with a quick quiz using these words and phrases. Question 1. Our company has its main blank in London, but it has offices in several other countries. A. Branch. B. Headquarters. C. Coworker. D. Client. The answer is B. Headquarters. Question 2. We need to finish the report before the blank on Friday. A. Assignment. B. Schedule. C. Deadline. D. Access. The answer is C. Deadline. Question 3. Sarah and I blank with the marketing team to prepare the new presentation. A. Call it a day. B. Work closely. C. Stick to our schedule. D. Have access. The answer is B. Work closely. Question 4. A shorter working week could improve employees blank. A. Team chemistry. B. Quality of life. C. Bureaucracy. D. Assignment. The answer is B. Quality of life. Question 5. We finished everything we needed to do today. Let's blank. A. Work closely. B. Call it a day. C. Get access. D. Stay on schedule. The answer is B. Call it a day. Excellent
Consistent
job.
practice
Before
is
we
the key
go,
to success. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future videos.